everyone, welcome to Art Club. I'm Miss Liz. If you registered for this program, you will have already picked up your kit from the library and you're ready to get started. If you're watching this video and you did not register and did not pick up a kit, you can follow along with items that you have at home. This is a really fun project. Today we're going to be creating a skywriting plane. So this one has a loop around, and this one is a heart. So what is skywriting? Skywriting is the process of using a small airplane to release special smoke during a flight. They fly in different patterns to create writing that is readable from someone down on the ground. Skywriting is never a permanent process, so the winds blow it away and it disperses on its own. And if you ever get a chance to see an airplane skywriting, make sure you stop what you're doing and watch, because you might just miss it and it might just blow away. All right, let's go over what's inside our kits. We have paper. We also have 3 different paints. There's a dark blue, a turquoise, and a white. We have a 1-inch paintbrush. I'm going for like a bigger paintbrush, not a small one that we usually use, because we're looking for those nice brush strokes when we're going to be blending those colors together. We also will be getting a airplane. This is like a foam airplane that you pop out and put together. So you'll have that. You'll have a small bottle of glue. I've got my big one with me today. And some fiber fill. That's what we're going to use to make the clouds. And some things that you might need from home are a paper plate, so you can use that as your paint palettes, a cup of water, and maybe a pencil. All right, let's start creating. I didn't mention this earlier, but let's get some scissors and cut open our bags that our kits came in, and we can lay that down on our work surface so we don't make a mess. So I'm just going to cut right along the edge right here, and then I'll cut along the bottom. So I'm really just, if you can tell, I'm cutting the actual bottom part off, and that'll make it easy to open up the rest of the bag. All right. There we go. All right, the next thing that we're going to do is grab our paper plates, and we're going to get our paint out on the paper plate. The next thing we're going to do is open up our paints and dump them out onto the paper plates. Let's see how this goes. It's all right if they touch each other, because eventually we're going to be blending it together anyway. All right, so it's going to take a little bit of time. So go ahead, get your paint out. If you have a popsicle stick handy and you want to help scoop that out of there, you can. My white paint seems to be a little bit thicker than the blues and not coming out as easily. Okay. So I've got some paint on me, so I'm going to go grab a paper towel. Might be a good idea for you to grab one too. All right, so we set our paint aside, and now I've got my cup of water. So I am going to put my brush in there and get it wet, but I'm going to try to scrape it on the side and get much of that water off. I want to put just a little bit of water on our paper so it makes it easier to blend our colors, but we don't want it to be soaking wet. So go ahead, give that a try. If you notice any super big puddles, you can dab that up with your paper towel. All right. So we're going to start with the blue. The dark blue will be the top of our paper. So get your dark blue and just start taking these nice long strokes. You can decide, you know, how much you want to have your darker blue at the top, or do you want less dark blue? You can see that when I put mine on, I got a lot of dark blue right there at the top. If that happens to you, don't worry about it. We will be able to fix that and blend it with other colors, and it's just going to look beautiful. All right, so I'm not going to rinse my brush. I'm going to go right to the turquoise color, and I'm going to start applying that in these nice long brush strokes. Give it a little bit more. I am holding the paper because it seems like it slides along our paper bag. And I'm going to get some white now. Let me pull this. There we go. You can go right off the edge of the paper. I'm going to get a little bit more of the turquoise, and I'm going to add that up here in the dark area. Added some white. So just go ahead, keep painting, play around with that a little bit. If it's not covering the entire paper, that's totally fine. The sky is not always completely blue. All right, how is yours coming along? I ended up taking just a little bit of water from my cup, trying to get most of it off, and I added it to the paint. It seems as though my paper dried up a little bit quicker, so go ahead and get some more paint, dab it off on the side, and just start filling it in. Continue blending those colors till you get exactly how you want it to look. If you need to add a little bit more white, go ahead. If you just make it look like whatever you want. I think mine looks pretty good like that. So from here, I'm going to set this aside to dry and then get my airplane, and I'll show you how to put it together. All right, so this is my airplane. Take out the wing. Just pop everything out. There's 3 pieces that we'll be using. There is a clear plastic piece that's included with it. We won't need that. That is, if you're going to actually fly your foam airplane, it needs that weight. So that's what that's going to be for. So now there's going to be a couple little pieces that you need to pop out on the body of the plane. And then we're going to carefully put the wings in there. So in the front, your wings are going to face this way, okay? Not this way. So this way. So you're just going to slide it in there. If your plane bends. That does happen with this kind of stuff. It's okay, since we're not going to be flying it. We're just going to be gluing it onto our paper. And then this one. And there's your airplane. If you're doing this kit and you don't have the foam airplane, you can create a plane by drawing one out on a paper and coloring it in. You can create one using popsicle sticks. There's different ways that you can make your airplanes. Just make sure that they're lightweight and not really too heavy. All right, my paper is still drying with my sky, so yours probably is too. Let's talk about what we want to do for our next step. We're going to be putting our skywriting on there, so you can be deciding, do you want to have the heart or do you want to have this loop? Now, if you had a large paper at home, one that's much bigger, you could even try to write a word, but we don't have that today. So be deciding, do you want to do a heart or do you want to do a loop? All right. Mine took a little bit longer to dry than I thought it would, so I actually set it outside. It's a beautiful sunny day, so I set it outside for a couple minutes and it dried right up. So now, did you decide? Do you want to do a loop for your skywriting or do you want to do a heart? I'm going to do a loop. So you can take a pencil if you like, and you can draw your loop, or you can take your glue and just go for it. So we only need to put on one line of glue, nothing too thick, even though our fiber fill on our samples is a little bit thicker, but there's just a line of glue under there and that fill just sticks together. And I'm just gonna make a loop. Just like that. So you see, I didn't add too much glue, just enough. And then you're gonna take your fill and you're just gonna kind of like stretch it out, play with it a little bit, pat it on there. You don't have to pat it on there too far down right away because you'll just get glue on your fingers. And right now we want to just get everything in place. And once we have everything where we want it, then we can come back and just press down a little bit harder. Make sure all of that glue does its job and holds it into place. It's starting to look really nice. How's yours looking? All right. So now you can take some time, you can shape it up a little bit, you can press it down. Make sure it's gonna stay. There we go, look at that. All right, so the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take my airplane. Now when I did the samples, it took a really long time for the glue to dry. If your grown-up is around and you have a glue gun and you want to try that, go ahead. But for now, I'm just going to show you how to glue it on there using our regular glue. So I'm going to put my plane, let's see. I'm going to put my plane like this. So I'm going to put a lot of glue right under here, under this wing, and right under here, under this back part. And then I might try to put some underneath here. And when I did my samples, I just laid something on top of it so it would stay in place Let's see if I can just put some glue right here, like that. And it does need to dry for a really long time. So go ahead, see if you can find something that you can give it a little bit of weight. Back doesn't want it to work like that. Let's see. I think I have too much fiber fill underneath there. So I'm going to take that off and try this again. There we go. So if yours isn't sticking very well and it keeps popping up, that's might be because you have too much fiber fill under there. So see if that's the issue and pull a little bit up. And then there we go. I'm going to let it dry like that. You find whatever works for you, and we'll check in a little bit. Thanks for joining me. I hope you had a great time. Here's how mine turned out. Whoop, there we go. Now you can see the whole thing. How did yours turn out? I would love to see it. If you would like to share that with me, you can post it in the comment section of our Facebook post of this video, or you can email it to me at youth@newlenoxlibrary.org. See you soon at the library.